This is a technique using Glass Effects gel to create the look of freehand drawing that I stumbled on by accident when I was actually doing a demonstration of Viva products. Um, I used some Viva swirl stamps. It's our clear stamps. And I just stamped it onto twice onto a piece of just inkjet paper, just cheap paper. And then I took a piece of acetate and laid it on top, and I started just tracing it. And you don't have to be perfect at it. You can mess up a little bit. It's not going to matter, because when you're through with it, you don't have to leave that black stamped piece underneath, and it's going to look like you drew it freehand. This would be a great project for doing a border in a scrapbook page, an entire card front that you can just put the acetate on there and maybe make a little frame around it to hold it in place. But I did add a few freehand things in here, but they weren't anything that anybody couldn't do. I just added some dots, and when we get to the blue-green, the blue color, you'll be able to see it. And I don't believe there was any rhyme or reason to why I used one color over the other. One thing that you do want to do, especially with the Glass Effects gels, actually with any of the pens, the pearl pens, the paper pens, the glitter pens, you don't want to actually touch your surface with the tip of your applicator. If you can keep it just barely above the surface, you're not going to get any lines from that tip in the lines that you're drawing on there. You'll get a nice smooth effect every time. Now I've got the green in place, and now I'm going to go back and add some blue. And basically what is left, I'm just going to finish out in blue. One nice thing about the Glass Effects gels, as well as all the other pens that Viva makes, is that you can vary the width of your line just by the pressure that you use. If you have a wider spot, like in this swirl, some of the spots are wider than others. You just start out with just a little pressure. When you get to the wide spot, give it another little bit of a squeeze, and then back off when you get back to another thin spot. And it's wonderful. It just works beautifully. Now I'm just about through with this. And where there were leaves on there, I just drew some fat lines. I didn't worry about making sure that it looked like a leaf, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect for it to be good. Now you can see I went back. I have this thing about dots. I went back and I added some dots just along the edges of some of the swirls. There was no rhyme or reason to it. What you saw me do there was I have a tendency to wipe off the tip occasionally, even whether it needs it or not. But I've found that I just wipe it on my finger and it washes off just fine. Here I'm going to go back and add some green dots, since I had some blue ones on there, just to kind of fill in. And it just adds a little more interest to this piece. Now you can leave the black under there if you like that look. It is a nice finished look, but then you can take it out. It looks like you did a hand drawing. And that could be very, very pretty on a card front or a scrapbook page.